What is good, guys? How's everybody doing? Well, I hope everybody is well. So why am I here? There were some of you that wanted to hear my opinions on the whole James Gunn announcement. So I posted a poll on my community feed, and I said, you want to know what I have to say? Get this post up to 50 likes and I'll do it. If you don't, then I'll just give it to my Patreons. So, fast forward hours later, after that post went up, I did my weekly streaming, Q&A streaming. And you guys, the pack, have one member to thank for that. Patty C decided to deliver on that equivalent of 50 likes by dropping a 50 bomb on one of my super chats. And once again, to Patty C, I appreciate that. So y'all thank her or him for this. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have done, because I checked again, and the likes were not even close to 50. What's up, y'all? Y'all not getting my posts, or y'all not getting comments? Y'all not receiving the posts? I don't know what it is. Could be YouTube, I don't know. But the point is, y'all need to thank Patty C because of that. Anyway, there were a few of you that wanted to hear, and I'm here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the announcement. It happened Monday, and I was just completely busy. I was running around, I had a lot of things to do, but I was able to hear what Mr. Gunn had to say. And of course, when this stuff's come out, you're going to have a lot of negative Nancys that are going to come out and say stuff like that. Say their piece and be trolls and everything like that. And with that being said, I ain't here for the trolls, alright? I'm not here for the trolls. We here. Y'all want to hear what I got to say. Y'all want to hear what your alpha has to say about this? Well, I'm here to talk about it. So, what is going down? So, it has been stated, Mr. Gunn has gone on to say that Matt Reeves' Batman is still going to continue, but it'll be Elseworld. Like it wasn't before. I mean, it's funny because before he was let go, Hamada, the president, basically said that Matt Reeves' Batman was Earth 2 or something like that. So I'm like, okay. So that's still, anything that hasn't to deal with the DCU will be like an Elseworld story. Same thing with the Joker and everything like that. Okay, fine. They go on to say that Captain Marvel 2, or, will start off, and then that'll lead into Flash, which I don't care two craps about. I'm not gonna watch that movie, so don't ask me to watch it. I really don't. I still am pissed off at. That's where I'm pissed off. Like you giving this Miller belong in jail, all right? And then of course that changes everything, and it leads into Blue Beetle, which I'm excited for. Blue Beetle, Captain Marvel 2, yes, and then leads into what is, I guess, the new age of DC. And they're gonna be what I love about it is Mr. Gunn has taken the chapters similar to Marvel with the phases, and he has named it Gods and Monsters. I like that. I really like that. I like that approach. I like it a lot. It's going to deal with 10 projects of Chapter 1. 5 movies, 5 TV series. So, for me, let's start with the TV series in general. That I feel, in a sense, I'll start with the TV series because they're the ones that, not all of them interest me as much as the movies are more intriguing to me, if you know what I mean. So, the TV series, so we have a animated series, which is considered the Creature Commandos. Now, when I saw that, I was like, wow. Take it from Gunn to bring out very obscure characters. But basically, if you've never heard of Creature Commandos include look at all the iconic monsters like Frankenstein's monster and werewolves and stuff like that. Drop them in Nazi Germany. There you go. That's what they are. Basically, those characters are based to deal with Nazis. It's going to be a animated series. I believe I read a 7-part animated series. I'm cool with that. No problem. That's fine to me. The next on the list is they're gonna do an Amanda Waller series, which Viola Davis will return reprising her role. Now, Miss Davis has done a good job as Amanda Waller. I'm not a big Amanda Waller fan. Hell, I'll even call her what she is, the bitch. She's the bitch. And she plays that role very well. But I really have no interest in a series revolving around Amanda Waller in general. She is just, I'm not very interested in, I hope Miss Davis does a great job, but I'm not interested in that. That's just me. I can care less about Amanda Waller. I really can. She could die for all I care. I don't care. Amanda Waller is in the same category as I look at with like Maria Hill. I don't like Maria Hill or Damian Wayne. They could die for all I care. However, Colby Smulders, who plays Maria Hill in the MCU, has made me really like this version of her better than her comic version. So, yeah. But that's fine. The one that really interests me here's one of them that do interest me. The Green Lantern series. We've been hearing Green Lantern series. There was supposed to be one that was going to come out. It was going to be more of an anthology series, and it was going to focus on a different lantern every episode or season or everything like that. The first episode was going to be based around the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and they were going to do Guy Gardner and things like that, and then that just tanked. So now we know that what I've read is that the series is going to be similar to True Detective, kind of, in a sense, and it'll be focused around Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Whoop-de-doo. Can't believe it. Yes. Well, I like it, but again, still focusing on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Still focusing on them. Really? I mean, when or where is my boy Kyle Rayner gonna get some shine? Huh? When is that gonna happen? Huh? It's always centered around Hal and John. Just saying. Will I see it? Will I watch it? Probably will, because this seems to be kind of more based on the Green Lantern Earth 1 books, which are really good. And if you ever read the Earth 1 stories, they kind of think a little bit outside the box, especially Green Lantern Earth 1. So I'm cool with that as well. Another one that really interests me is the Booster Gold. I want to see how they play Booster Gold off in this show, with Skeets and everybody like that. Booster Gold, a character that debuted in 1986, the time traveler, things like that. How is this going to be played off? From what I read, it's supposed to be like a comedy. Okay, Booster is kind of a comedic character, so it makes sense for that character to be in that role. So I can't really say anything bad about that, but in a sense, that intrigues me. We have seen versions of Booster Gold in live action series. I remember they did one way back in Smallville and things like that, but centered around Booster, I'm cool with that. So we have Creature Commandos, Waller, Lantern, Booster Gold, and the last one they're doing is Paradise Lost, I believe. And pretty much it's a prequel to the Wonder Woman movie, and it's supposed to be focused on the Amazons and the mascara and things like that, and how they governed it and everything like that. They say it's more like a Game of Thrones like version. Once again, depending on whichever you read, I read from Variety and places like that. That's what they said. It's got a Game of Thrones vibe to it. Again, I like this approach because even in the Wonder Woman movies, still, they didn't focus on the other Amazons. And there's some great Amazons outside of Diana and Hippolyta, Artemis. We saw Artemis. She was played by a former heavyweight boxer, one of the greatest boxers, female boxers in history. She really got no shine, So Artemis could be played up. We focus on Artemis. Maybe they'll bring in Nebula. We could see Donna Troy maybe, in a sense. Those are things that I think with Gunn's direction, we can put the spotlight on them and get to see more. And maybe even intriguingly maybe there are some villains that we haven't seen that could be a focus in this series. Just some things that I'm throwing out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, outside of the TV series, 3 of them intrigue me the most. 2 of them actually 4 intrigue me the most. One of them I could care less about. I'm sorry. No offense, no disrespect to Miss Viola Davis at all. She's a great actress. I like her very much, but Waller, I'm not a fan of Amanda Waller. I never have been, and I'm never going to be. I said, somebody could put a bullet in her head, and I really don't care. I mean, when she died in Arrow, you know how happy I was? I jumped to joy. And I shouldn't say that, but I did. Okay? But yes, Amanda Waller. Okay, but 4 out of 5 ain't bad, right? Just saying. Now, with that, the movies, the slots for the movies, and they, to me, are a good mixture of familiarity as well as lesser known. And one of them really was a kicker that when Mr. Gunn said it, my jaw dropped. Because I was like, oh my God. And I'll get to that. So let's kick it off. So the first one, of course, I am wearing the House of L shirt right now. You could see, but this is Superboy, and we're not. And it's not a Superboy movie, but we're going back to the Man of Steel. That's the first movie. Respect, because why? It's Superman. Superman is not only is he the godfather of all superpowered heroes, he started it all in DC. Correct? In terms of superpowers, it was the Man of Steel. Why not? Now, we don't know too much, but we do know the title, Superman Legacy. Okay, but what they do say in the synopsis of the series is that it will have Superman focus. It's not an origin story, and nor should it be. We know this character's origin back to back. Even a 3rd grader or a little kid should know Superman's origin. The point is, it's supposed to focus on how he is balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. That's perfect. Go from there. But cool. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. The other one that really kind of I went, yes, okay, good. Now we're gonna see, because no offense, I don't want the legacy of this character in terms of movies to be that movie. And what character is that? Supergirl. And it's called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And it is supposed to be based around that great 8-part story that Tom King wrote that really focused on Supergirl with a different twist. And it makes sense. Supergirl is always looked at as being what? Oh, she's the Kara Zor-El, she's the cousin to Superman. She was sent to Earth to protect her cousin. However, by the time she got there, he didn't need protection. And she is the older cousin. Superman is the younger cousin, but we know what happened. She got trapped, and of course, but what does that mean to her? what happens when everything you were supposed to do, everything you were guarding to do, doesn't come to fruition? So you're just looked at as Superman's cousin. What is her purpose? Tom King did a really good job with that shit. I recommend anybody who's never read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It is a really good miniseries. It is really good. I recommend it. I believe it's 8 parts if I remember correctly. But it's out in trade. You can get it. It's really good. So if they're going to adapt that to the big screen, yes. And the reason why I say yes is because, no offense to Helen Slater, I do not want the legacy of Supergirl in terms of movies to be that movie. You know what I'm saying? No offense to Helen Slater. It's not her fault. But that movie, I don't want that to be the legacy of Supergirl. Melissa Bionis, who played Supergirl for, I believe, 5 or 6 seasons, was started on CBS and went to CW. You know, she did as best she could, and I enjoyed the series for what it was. Unfortunately, there were times where I felt like it got too political. But outside of that, I will always tip my hat to her for at least pushing people to get eyes on Kara Zor-El, or they used her other name, Kara Danvers. But yes, once I saw Supergirl, I was really happy to see that. Brave and the Bold, which will be the new edition, will be the Batman of the DCU, is interesting because for a while, when you look at Brave and the Bold, it was a comic series that wasn't based around Batman until the late 60s, until Adam West Batman came out. Then it became like a focus on Batman teaming up with other characters. And then they even did Batman Brave and the Bold. But this is, from what Gunn said, it's going to focus on not just Batman, but focus on his son. So it brings us back to, we're going to get Robin back in the fold. And it's been a long time since we've had Robin on the big screen. Every Batman movie that has come out in the past up until now, live action on the big screen, has never had Robin. When was the last time we saw Robin? Robin, Chris O'Donnell, and he was way too old to be playing Robin. So it's gonna focus on my least favorite Robin, Damian Wayne. But I can understand why. James Gunn likes Damian Wayne. He even said, I love that little bastard. So, okay. My question right off the bat is, if Damian is Robin, will there be focus on the other Bat family members? Are they already been established? Dick, Tim, Jason, Barbara, anybody else? Are they already the Bat family? And hopefully, because it's the Brave and the Bold, it is like that. Because for too long, guys, the Bat family has been negated from movies. Yes, and I say that, and then we were going to get a Batgirl movie. Okay, I didn't care too much for the look, but we were going to get a Batgirl movie, and they canceled that. Okay, yes, I'm sorry to everybody who wanted to see that, but unfortunately we got to move on. That's the problem. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but you got to move on. Well, I'm pointing at the WB. I am pointing at them because the movie was done. They could have just put that out. Anyway, I'm not very excited to see Damian on the big screen because I don't like that little big-headed prick. I don't. But I understand why they want to do it. And it kind of, even in a sense, maybe even plays into why they're calling it Brave and the Bold. You look at Batman, Brave, Damian, Bold. You see where I'm going at with that? But still, we're going to get a new actor playing Batman. And it's not going to be Patterson or Ben Affleck. So again, we're going with that. Now, who could they? And it seems like it's going to be based around Grant Morrison's run for Batman. And if that's the case, then we should see Dick Grayson Nightwing, because if you read Grant Morrison's run of Batman, Nightwing was fully exposed in run. Morrison loved Nightwing, and he had Nightwing in that book like crazy. So yes, I hope to see that very much. So Superman, both Kryptonians, Superman, Supergirl, Brave and the Bold, bringing Batman, very well-known characters, right? Number 4 is a true horror of the Guardian of the Green, Swamp Thing returning. When I saw that, yes! Again, when's the last time we saw Swamp Thing on the big screen? Like 82 or 84? But they had that great Swamp Thing TV series, in my opinion, that was really good. It was dark, it was gritty, the horror elements worked, and in my opinion, horror Swamp Thing works perfectly. They can play off the green and play off the red, you know, just all that stuff. And if we see characters like Constantine, and maybe this is the bringing of Justice League Dark, I don't care, but I just want to see Swamp Thing and Arcane and this and that. Give me that. Just give me that. I'm all for this. Once I saw Swamp Thing on there, I'm glad, because I believe, I could be wrong, I gotta go back, but I believe when I did my list of characters, I think Swamp Thing was up on my list. I think. I could be wrong. I gotta go back, but I believe I did say Swamp Thing. And I'm a big fan of Swamp Thing. I love that character, and horror vibe is great for it. You know, I watched almost everything Swamp Thing, from the movies, the TV series that used to come on back in the day, the first TV series, then of course the later TV series. I'm all for even the cartoon. You know, that Swamp Thing. Yeah, I'm all. I love me some Swamp Thing. So yes, all good, well-known characters that are well-known, but also some characters maybe a lot of people don't know. That's meaning Swamp Thing. Balanced, key word, balanced. You're gonna hear me say that again. But then, when I saw this, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Gunn? Really? My jaw dropped. The Authority. The Authority. The Authority. Soon as he mentioned the Authority, I looked at that, I'm like, oh my God, we're getting Wildstorm characters live action? Never has there been any Wildstorm characters live action. And as soon as he said the Authority, the first 2 characters I'm thinking about was Midnighter and Apollo. And I'm like, please, give me that, please. But then I'm thinking about many other members of the Authority. Deathblow, Grifter, Jenny Quantum, Shift. There's another Jenny, Jenny Sparks. All these characters, I'm like, oh my God, please tell me we're getting these characters. Now, yes, the Authority is a little bit more grittier, and if you've never read their books, trust me, they're gritty. Alone, Midnighter is probably the most grittiest of them all. But then I was hoping, please stay true to the Brandon Hitch and Ellis run, not mixing it up with the New 52 version of the Authority, where they had John Jones on the team and stuff like that. No, stay true to the Wildstorm characters. I'm begging begging you, Mr. Gunn, please stick to the Wildstorm character, because if this goes down, if the Authority gets properly done right, then I'm hoping that we see other Wildstorm characters, including Wildcats. The Wildcats. Yes. I want the Wildcats. When I look at this as a whole, there are a lot of people that already are being negative about it. Oh, this is what they gave up everything for. This is underwhelming. Nobody cares about these characters. I don't care about. No, you don't care about them. And this is where I feel, once again, people being selfish and not keeping an open mind. But to me, Mr. Gunn has done a proper job of balancing lesser known with well known. Mostly the movies are with well-known characters. Everybody and their mama knows Superman. Everybody knows Supergirl. Everybody knows Batman and Robin. No matter which Robin it is, they see that R on the, that's Robin. Swamp Thing, depending on who you talk to. Movie-wise and the TV-wise, nobody knows anything. Oh, and I forgot the Authority. Not too many people, unless you are a comic reader, know who the Authority are. And then, of course, there is the TV series, Green Lantern. Everybody knows about Green Lantern. Learning more about the other Amazons outside of Wonder Woman will help for certain people. Won't do it for me because I know all the Amazons, and I love them all. They all have a place, Staten Island, and then of course Waller. Amanda Waller has gotten pretty big over time. People should know who she is. Booster Gold that's one, and of course Creature Commandos is another that's the balance of lesser known characters. It's balanced. It's kinda in a sense what Marvel did and what they are trying to continue to do with their later phases. Is balanced with well known, lesser known. That's why I always say, I don't care what anybody said, nobody's going to convince me that Phase 4 was a failure in terms of Marvel, because it wasn't. It was a great experiment that worked. It worked to a T, and yes, in my opinion, it needed to happen. You needed to do that. And now, when I think about it, I look at it, I'm like, there are more people that know about Moon Knight, there's more people that know about Shang-Chi, there's more people that know about She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel and all these other characters that came out Phase 4. Gunn worked with Marvel, and what did he do? And then you got people and then I'm gonna leave it at this. You got a lot of people out here that are dogging this and ransacking it and saying that Gunn is not a visionary, thing like that. It's not about him being a visionary. It's about him learning from what he's done with Marvel and trying to build a foundation for DC, because you got all these people that talk about, I want DC to succeed, but when they try to do something to make it succeed in terms of the live action, then you want to throw shade at it. But this is the same man that took in the public eye a very lesser known team to the comic readers like myself. We knew, but he took a team like the Guardians of the Galaxy and made them into gold. Made them a household name. And nobody can tell me any differently. Yes, people like Gamora and Drax and Star-Lord. But you know what? What became the household name of that team? That talking raccoon and that tree man. He did that. Nobody else did that. He did it. And he was able to end his run with that franchise and move over to DC. So anybody out there that wants to throw shade and just kick it in the dirt without even giving it a chance, look yourself in the mirror and say, what the hell is wrong with me? Because at the end of the day, he's trying his best. You're not gonna win over everybody. If everybody liked you, then you ain't trying. You're not. Then what is the point? It's the point he is trying. Keep an open mind on this, because if this is what chapter 1 is, I can't wait to see what chapter 2 is or chapter 3 is. What are they going to be called? What is he going to bring next? That's where my excitement truly comes from, is what is to come in the future. Yes, we got a long way to go before this kicks off. So I'm going to enjoy every minute of what's the later movies up until the start of Superman Legacy. And I'm going to end it with that. Now, guys, if you like what you heard and you like my opinion on the announcement of DC and for the future state of DC, the DCU, please leave your comments in the section down below. Tell me what you think about all what has been announced. Do you believe in me, what I just said? Balance. It's all about balance. And with that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time, as always. This is M.V.K, your alpha. I'm the Geek High Lord of New York. I haven't said that in a while. I'm the Geek High Lord of New York. I have not said that in a while. But deuces.